Namaste. Welcome to Yoga Body. I'm Julie Hill. I help people eliminate pain and get back into doing the activities that they love. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the value and the benefits from using different props when we explore our movement, when we work to gain more range of motion or release an area of tightness. I find that props really offer some different things to us. First off, they really offer a good underlining sense of support, whether it be in our practice or again in that exploration. They also can become an extension of our arms and our legs. And they provide really good feedback or more information about how we move. So I've set up some of the typical props that you might see at a gym or a yoga studio. But I want you to know that they don't all have to be store-bought props. For example, you can think of a block and what it looks like, and then find some things at home that are about the same size. I found this box that's about the same size. It's a more typical to the thinner blocks that you might see in a yoga studio, but it's definitely the same length. And then I also found a paper towel, which is about not quite halfway used, maybe 3/4 used, but when you line it up, it's about the same width. So depending on what you want to use it for, and you also want to check that it's the same weight. Both the box and the paper towel are just as light as the block. So we don't want to necessarily add any more heaviness or load into our prop if that's traditionally not what it would carry. You can kind of play around with that. So if I were to take this block and think about the different benefits that it adds, it can provide support. If I come into standing straddle, so a stretch for the back of my legs, and then start to hinge forward, I can place the block there to let my hands come to absorb some of the weight from my torso. If I don't have that extension of the block to my hands, I might have to round down, and that is really kind of stretching through my back more than it's helping open up the back of my legs. So just to allow my body to come to the place that it releases and then let it stay there and kind of just release in the area that I'm hoping to gain more range of motion with the back of my legs versus my back. I can also use something like a dowel. Now I use this with clients, and I just purchased it at any kind of sewing shop or Ace Hardware typically has dowels. It's just wooden, but you can also use a broom handle, mop, that kind of thing, and it gives you more information. So if I bring this to the back of my body and line up the back of my head, and I can feel it on my back and the back of my hips. So whatever it comes to, whether your head touches it or not, you get a little bit of like, okay, if I'm standing, here are the parts of my body that touch the back of the dowel. And then when I start to fold forward, I put a bend in my knees as I fold forward to keep my back kind of at ease, but I want to feel the same parts of my back touching the dowel. If I start to fold forward and I really am not coming from the pelvis, but I'm rounding from here, I'll lose the dowel connection to the back of my hips. And that provides really good feedback. So I can use it just to kind of gain more information about how I might be folding forward. And when I fold to the part where I really can't keep my back nice and long anymore, I have to kind of round there. You can also use a dowel for twisting, just kind of holding it in front of you, getting some feedback about your shoulders, wanting to get involved in your twist, and then use it just to twist over to one side and then the other, allowing your hands just to loosely kind of cradle the dowel so that you get that nice relaxed movement in your rib cage versus using your shoulders to do the twist. So that gives you more information about how you're moving. You can find that sometimes just keeping your legs active or keeping muscles active provides a lot of feedback. So I can look at a side bend. So I can come into a side bend, just bringing one hand up and coming over, and kind of feeling that stretch. But if I add a strap in between my arms, and this today I'm just going to sub in this belt that I have as a strap. I can bring my arms up and then use a little bit of energy to kind of press out on the strap. Not that I'm causing any strain, but I'm definitely working my arms apart holding the strap. And then I can come into that same side bend. And as I come over, I can notice how that feels coming through the arms. It helps keep the shoulder down and relaxed. And I get a sense of, in my side bend, are my arms just coming over, or are they staying equal distant from my head? I want to get that nice sense of opening through the side line of my body. So if I come over and just add my arm, I'm really not coming into as much side bend as I think I am. So just allowing yourself to come over and just being really present to the range of motion in that side or coronal plane that's available to me today. So as you can see, there's a variety of things that you can do with different props to kind of explore your movement. If you are participating in a yoga class and you had something that didn't feel quite right in class, or you're working on taking a posture to the next level or building strength, props are great to use to give you feedback. If you'd like to find out more information about how to use them, or you're interested in eliminating pain, please contact me at julie@yogabodylllc.com. Here's to a healthier and happier you. Namaste.